Hi everyone. If you were to go onto any Gran Turismo 7 forum, chat room, Facebook group, you'll always come across a bunch of people who are always declaring that VR is the only way to play the game. It's the only way to get the full experience of the game. To be honest though, I think they have got a point. As a self-confessed VR snob myself, I would like to present 50 reasons why you should play Gran Turismo 7 in VR. So I've broken down these 50 reasons into 4 categories, and that's immersion and detail, driving benefits, ease of use, and the fun stuff. So without further ado, let's get into it. So firstly, and this is somewhat quite obvious, everything is life-size. Of course, it's very difficult to really convey that scale on a 2D video, particularly if you're watching this on a phone or something, but when you see the scale of the size of grandstands at the side of the track or timing towers, you really get a sense that you are inside the game. You're really on the track rather than simply viewing it through the window of your TV. Additionally, you can really appreciate the size difference between different cars. For example, if you're in a small open-wheeled car and you're driving alongside a giant Ford Raptor truck, you can really get a sense of the scale of those vehicles. If you're fortunate enough to have a sim racing setup with wheel and pedals, it absolutely adds to the experience overall. I particularly am always blown away to be driving the McLaren GT3 and then I realise I'm actually using the Fanatec McLaren GT3 wheel as well. It just feels right. Number 4, the headset has haptic feedback, so if you make contact with other cars, or indeed crash into a barrier, as I tend to do quite often, you get a little more sense of that immersion from having a bit of a vibration going around your head. Number 5, sunlight on the dashboard looks awesome. Now of course you do see this in the 2D cockpit view as well, but in VR you've got that peripheral vision and you can see the whole width of the car, so it really fills your entire field of view as light flickers through trees. Some people even report that it tricks your brain into actually feeling the warmth and the heat of the sunlight, and to be honest, I think I have actually experienced that as well. It's a very strange sensation, but it is a real thing. And sticking with the environmental themes, when you're inside the car and you've got the windscreen coming up pretty much to where you're sitting and you've got your window on the left or the right hand side to you, the rain effect and the sound of it being so close to you really enhances, particularly in bad weather, how treacherous the conditions are. The HDR capabilities of the lenses in the headset really do make brake lights and the lighting during night races really pop. Particularly seeing the lights come through from headlights from cars behind you as they shine onto your dashboard, it's a fantastic sensation. At number 8, yes, there might not be a timing tree on the screen, but if anything, I personally prefer to turn the HUD off and actually just use my cockpit dials and race knowledge and awareness to determine how my race is going. I find that it's much more immersive that way. So being able to use your rev counter, speedo, mileage, all those indicators that you have on the dashboard, I feel that makes for a much more realistic experience. Quite an obvious one now, if you've got the headset on, and particularly if you've got headphones as well, and a steering wheel, all of your senses are just directed at the game. There's no outside distraction at all, and it really does give you a complete sense of immersion. I would always recommend, if you are using headphones, turn them up as loud as you can stand it, because it makes all the difference. Number 10, you can see your helmet in reflections. Number 11, in-car details are awesome. Now of course we know that the interior models in GT are amazing, probably some of the best seen in the industry. But here is my first car. This is my Ford Escort. Actually, tell a lie, it wasn't a Cosworth, it was a 1.6 LX. But still, the nostalgia that I can get from the scale of this being exactly as I remember it, It's absolutely incredible. Number 12, sticking with in-car details, you can see things that you would just never see in the 2D version of the game. For example, the stitching on the logos on headrests in these cars. There is no need for Gran Turismo to go to that level of detail, but the fact that they do is just one of the reasons why I absolutely love this game. Number 13, you can see your feet. Looks a bit funny in this car, but there you go. Number 14, and this is quite a tricky one to really showcase in the video, but the PSVR 2 headset uses eye tracking. So it looks at your eyes and it knows which corner of the screen, or which corner of your VR headset screens, I should say, that you're looking at. And it applies a higher resolution to the area that you are actually looking at, and it lowers the resolution in the areas that you're not focused on. This allows, I presume, the game to prioritise the detail on the specific areas that you're looking at. A very clever trick. I understand it does not work if you're using PSVR 2 on PC games. It's not something that's been implemented on anything yet, but it's a very clever technique to ensure that the picture quality is the best it can be at all times. And again, this is something that's difficult to show on the video, but PSVR 2 absolutely runs better on a PS5 Pro. There's certainly a reduction in the visibility of the reprojection display. You may get some slight screen tearing if you're using the standard PS5 model. Perfectly acceptable and perfectly playable in my opinion, but on the PS5 Pro it is absolutely a lot clearer, particularly your timing text and your tyre and race info displays. That's the immersion and detail. We shall now move on to driving benefits. Now this one is quite obvious. You have easier awareness of other cars because you can simply look around. You can look to the left and look to the right. You don't have to look just in your mirrors. You don't have to look at the artificial radar on your little HUD. You can just simply look and see where the other cars are. It's brilliant. As well as this, turning your head changes the direction of the audio in response to you. So if you're using headphones, it's potentially easier to locate where your competitors are. Ideal if someone is in your blind spot. And again, rather obviously, because you can just look in your mirrors, you don't have to artificially press a button to look behind you. Number 19, you have depth perception from the stereoscopic vision. Of course, the headset has two screens, therefore it's like real vision, and you can see the depth of the dials on your dashboard. You can see how far away the cars are. You can see the distance to your wheels in an open-wheeled car. It's just one more thing that gives you that sense of realism and immersion. For number 20, this is perhaps a bit more of a personal thing to me. I don't know if other people would feel the same, but I feel that when I'm using VR I can sense lateral movement of the car, perhaps a little quicker, just because of how my head is located looking forward in the game and I can see the car moving around me. I feel that I can catch slides and catch losses of control a little bit easier in the VR. Number 21, because you've got a direct driver's eye viewpoint, I feel you can pinpoint curbs and apexes better, particularly in open-wheeled cars. Talking of open-wheeled cars, you can also see around the halo much easier in the Super Formula cars. I really wish we could have, even if it's a fake one, an up-to-date F1 car in the game, or at least the equivalent of a Gran Turismo branded F2004. That would be amazing. Make it happen, Polyphony. And of course, drifting and rallying feel a lot more natural, simply because you can look to the side. If you're not travelling forwards, you can always still look in the direction the car is going, and I feel this makes the rally stages so much better overall. Okay, so we're now about halfway through the list. Now let's take a look at the ease of use. The headset contains a microphone and a 3.5mm port for headphones, just like the old days. Setting up is really simple. You only have to use the PSVR 2 handset controllers once for the initial setup. After that, all you need to do is turn the headset on and it's a very quick calibration. This little video here is sped up to show starting from everything being turned off to being in a VR race, and as you can see, it doesn't take hardly any time at all. Brilliant! It is of course really easy to revert to the standard 2D gameplay at any point. Because you've got that second screen on your TV as well as the headset, you just take the headset off and carry on playing. Or indeed, change it back anytime you like. Number 27, the price of the headset is very competitive. Of course, it's the only one available and it's the only one you can have on PlayStation, but it is now, if you go for a second-hand one, it is cheaper than half the price that it was when it launched a couple of years ago. You can normally find a second-hand one for between £220 to £250, or indeed dollars, worth about the same, I guess. Number 28, everything in the game is in VR. There's no specific game modes, everything you can do in the standard version of the game simply works in VR. Simple as that. Number 29, it's really easy to adjust your positioning once you've got the headset on. If you find you're too high or too low in terms of your viewpoint, or if for any reason you're off center, you can simply physically put yourself where you want it to be as the default position, shall we say. Simply press and hold the options button for a couple of seconds and it resets you wherever you want it to be. Number 30, there is a very helpful button on the headset that will allow you to see through the headset so that you can have a check on your phone or see where you've put your cup of tea. Number 31, it's no problem to wear glasses. Number 32, you can be quite flexible with how you have your audio. Yes, of course you can use headphones for maximum immersion, but if you're just looking for a bit more comfort, you can just have the audio coming through from the TV as well. Particularly on a hot day, if I don't want to put more things on my head, that's always a good way to go. And the fact that you have the TV screen as well means that people can watch you looking silly with your VR headset on, and they can see exactly what you see, or at least directly in front of where you're looking on the TV screen as well. Number 34, and again this is quite an obvious one, but people often have questions with this sort of thing. All of the VR features are simply part of the game. There's no separate VR version of GT7, there's no DLC, you don't have to pay for anything. If you've got the headset, if you've got the game, everything's in VR. It's as simple as that. Well, that's the less exciting stuff. Now let's look at the fun things. Number 35, jumps are awesome. Number 36, open cockpit cars are awesome. Number 37, you can watch fireworks and they're also awesome. Number 38, you can watch jets fly over and they are extra awesome. Number 39, the VR showroom. Of course, it's in the normal game as well, but being able to see everything in life size makes it even more special. Number 40, you can walk around the GT Auto Shop and you can have a nose on what they're looking at on their screens. Number 41, karts are awesome. Number 42, just something cool. You can see your engine behind you. Look at this Jag, it's amazing. Number 43, you can pull up alongside and spy on marshals for no particular reason. Number 44, hills and slopes. Of course, again, everything is life-size, so you really get a sense of how high Eau Rouge is or how far down the corkscrew goes at Laguna Seca. An absolutely amazing part of the game. Number 45, of course we do all like to show off our sim rigs to other people on the internet, but in the real world, when people come to your actual house, You can put them on GT7 in VR and you can be assured that they will be absolutely amazed, like Emily here.
Oh, bollocking shit.
Number 46, crashes and spins can be terrifying in a good way. At number 47, you can be sprayed by cars from the rain in the VR replay. Yes, the VR replay is pretty rubbish, but at least this bit's good. Number 48, you can record your VR gameplay in just the same way that you record standard gameplay using the PS5 internal capture system. Number 49, I love it when you're alongside another car and you look over and you can see the driver looking back at you in the other car. And so we come to the last reason, number 50, and that is that the VR community around GT7 is just fantastic. I see so many comments, not just on my little YouTube videos, but on Reddit, on other social media. Everyone just enjoys the game and is positive about it, and that's something that you don't see in a lot of gaming communities these days. So knowing that that is made up of pretty much you guys that are probably watching this, thank you, because it's brilliant. And there is the complete list. I'm sure there's things that I've missed. I'm sure some things I might have embellished a little bit, but I do hope that you have found this informative and mildly entertaining. If you have done so, please consider giving the channel a like, maybe a subscribe, you know, all that kind of stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on another video. Bye for now.